Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the international webinar of Leaps and Bounds Forward, Taiwan supports world-class EV supply chain for your business. My name is Maggie Wu, and I'm pleasure to be the MC for today. On behalf of Bureau of Foreign Trade of MOEA, I would like to extend our warmest welcome to all of you. We appreciate you for taking off your busy schedule to join us today, and we hope you find today's webinar informative and fruitful. For the past few years, Taiwan has been an important supplier for global electric vehicle manufacturers. Through effective integration of component and parts, as well as machinery supply chain, we take pride in providing prominent hardware solutions. The webinar brings together Taiwanese EV manufacturers, leading EV parts manufacturers, and smart machinery manufacturers to introduce their most comprehensive solutions and applications. Meanwhile, as Tier 1 suppliers for global automobile manufacturers, they will also share the advanced technologies that can support and complete your EV supply chain. In addition to keynote speeches, there will also be panel sessions for more in-depth discussions on business opportunities and trends of the EV industry. Without further ado, please welcome Tim Lai, President of Precision Machinery Research Development Center, to deliver the opening remarks.
Hello and welcome industrial experts and friends. This electric vehicle is highly supported by the environmental policies in many countries and accelerate the transformation of a traditional automobile industry. It encourages more and more car manufacturers and their supply chain to enter this emerging market. Taiwan has a complete vehicle supply chain. For example, from upstream, we could provide smart manufacturing equipment to the application side via OEM automotive components and car for world-leading companies. Taiwan companies also successfully enter the Tier 1 supply chain and have become the world's best automobile partner. We are confident that we will fulfill the market needs. Taiwan's parts manufacturers have entered the electric vehicle industry a while ago. We supply power harness and decelerate gear. Today, the supply chain has shifted, and we are focused on providing lithium-ion battery, copper foil, battery cathode material, cooling fan, LED leading light, automobile camera, touch panel, charger, the computer which covers the entire car like automotive electric system, body, battery, charging, ICE powertrain. In addition, Taiwan's machinery and equipment industries rank 5th in global exports. It shows that Taiwan can provide a total solution and be the key partner to world-class electric vehicle manufacturers. Next, Taiwan has been the relative major OEM automotive industry and could become the best strategic partner for automobile brands in Asia, Europe, and the United States. Furthermore, Taiwan owns domestic automotive brands such as Yulong, which has led the global electric vehicle trend too. Today, Yulong and Fortran, the Deputy Director, Mr. Zhuo Zisheng, also participated in this forum. He launched electric vehicle product several years ago and has a well understanding of electric vehicles. This online cross-domain exchange forum is sponsored by the Bureau of Foreign Trade MOEA. It aims to promote Taiwan's top parts manufacturer, smart machinery and equipment manufacturers, and electric vehicle OEMs. Hope this forum allows foreign investors to know Taiwan's key technical capability for build electric vehicles. If you are interested in any topic, please feel free to contact our manufacturer for more information. Finally, I would like to thank Foxtron Vehicle Vice Chairman Mr. Zuo Zhiseng, Sogo General Manager Mr. Kyle Low, TYC General Manager Mr. Michael Chen, the CEO of FACS Mr. Alan Wang, Honda Industrial Senior Manager Mr. Maurice Wu, Gaofeng Assistant Vice President Jason Yeo, and our host National Formosa University Assistant Professor Zhang Ziqi, PNG Director Zhao Renzhong, PNG Deputy Director Chen Zhongping. Best wish on this forum. Thank you.
Thank you, President Tim Lai, for the wonderful remarks. In today's webinar, we invited 6 representative companies to share innovative solutions and business opportunities for electric vehicles. There will be 3 sessions, each of which consists of 2 keynote speeches and 1 panel discussion. 3 important topics regarding electric vehicles will be presented and discussed individually in each session, including lightweight construction and parts for electric vehicles, technology and applications of automotive lighting manufacturing, and gear reducer system with high precision and quiet operation. For the first session, we are honored to have Dr. Zhang, Assistant Professor of Department of Mechanical and Computer-Aided Engineering of National Formosa University, to be our host. He and the 2 speakers will focus on the development of Taiwan's electric vehicle industry and the trend of lightweight construction and parts for electric vehicles. Now, please welcome Dr. Zhang to introduce more about the topic and the speakers.
Hello, I'm Watson. I'm served in National Formosa University, Taiwan. Welcome everyone in the global EV industry to join this webinar. Today, we will focus on Taiwan's EV industry and discuss the solution Taiwan's EV supply chain can provide to lightweight construction and parts. There are more than 20 tubular components in a vehicle. Under the trend of electric vehicle lightweighting, I believe Taiwan can provide innovative service. In today's forum, we are honored to have Mr. Zuo Zhiseng, Vice Chairman of Foxtron Vehicle Technologies, to share the development of Taiwan's electric vehicle in the global market. Foxtron is a joint venture established by Yulong Group and Foxconn Group. Foxtron creates a strong ecosystem of its major partners and customers in the industry and has become one of the world's largest mobility technology and manufacturing service provider. Mr. Zhou has rich experience in the automotive industry. He is currently the vice chairman of Foxtron. Meanwhile, we will have Mr. Kyle Rowe, CEO of Soco Machinery, to talk about the differences of the processing technology between electric and gas-light vehicle. Soco is a global machine manufacturer with over 40 years. Their tube bender and bar shoring machine have taken up the highest market share in Asia and top 3 in the world. Soco is also the world's first company developing fiber laser tube cutting machine with R&D and manufacturing all made in Taiwan. First, Let's welcome Mr. Zhou, Vice Chairman and Foxtron Vehicle Technologies, to talk about the global trend of electric vehicles.
Hello, everyone. On the Foxconn Technology Day of last October, Foxconn announced to cooperate with the 70-year veteran Yulong Group to penetrate EV industry. Foxconn also indicate their 3+3 strategy and established the MIH Alliance to develop their own electric business. All Taiwan-related electric vehicle industry have been inspired since. Not only Taiwan, the global electric vehicle market have been booming over recent years. In early August, US President Biden also announced that the market share of electric vehicle sales in the United States should reach 50% in 2030. So today I'm going to introduce you about the future trend of the electric vehicle industry globally and the competitive advantage what we have, even we start relatively slow in Taiwan. Energy shortage, air pollution, and global warming are the key factors driving countries around the world to promote the electric vehicle industry vigorously. Increasingly stringent energy consumption and emission regulation have also promoted countries to set a time limit for banning the sale of ICE vehicles. From this table, we can see that some European countries will ban the sale of petrol vehicle in 2030. And for United States, which had not made any statement in before, also announced that the sales of electric vehicle in 2030 must reach 50% in annual total market. Although car manufacturers around the world have been developed electric vehicle for a while, but the sales performance was not so good due to the cost, the weight of battery is too high, and the quality of battery is not so stable, and lack of charging stations, so cruise range anxiety. This problem has been gradually improved, especially the significant reduction in battery costs, coupled with the quick rising of Tesla. The sale of electric vehicle has increasing substantially in past few years. Please check this chart. The sales volume of energy vehicle in the world in 2020 is around 3 million. And according to the Deloitte's prediction, global sales of new energy vehicle will reach 30 million units in 2030, and of which among that 80% is the pure BEV. From 3 million units in 2020 to 30 million units in 2030, the major brands are rushed into the big market aggressively. Of course, Tesla is still the leading brand at this moment, but even those traditional manufacturers that have been behind for a while, such as Volkswagen, BMW, Toyota, Honda, have also begun to invest resources in striding forward and catch up dramatically. Furthermore, a bunch of new players have emerged, such as NIO, Xiaopeng, and Li Auto. Also, some ICT giants like Foxconn, Huawei, Xiaomi have also announced that they will join this melee. At this year, 2021 Shanghai Auto Show, I believe you have already smelled the fierce competition in between the brands. There are 72 new energy vehicle launches. Among them, 58 are pure BEV. Frankly speaking, it's difficult to have the profit from the EV business at this moment. Even the leading brand, Tesla's profit, is not from the selling electric vehicles. Previously, most of the profit were made by selling carbon credit. Since the big investment from traditional car brands to develop their own electric vehicle, the opportunity for profiting from the sales of carbon credit have shrunk dramatically. In addition, so many new players have joined this battlefield, and the future competition is bound to become more severe. In the lack of profit, some brands which are not in good shape might be eliminated inevitably in the future. In the past, the core competitiveness of petrol vehicle was the technology of engine and transmission. And what will be the core competitive advantage needed to develop electric vehicle? Of course, it will be the three key components: the motor, the battery, and the electronic controls. Therefore, some people say that only those who master the core technology of these three key components will have the opportunity to dominate the EV world. Recently, one key phrase is big data determine the user experience. Software define car. Whether it is traditional car brand or new EV player, seems that they all agree to adopt the CASE development strategy. So in addition to electrification, intelligence will also be the decision point in the future. But what is a small car? Different interpretation defines respectively. In the future, only those who can truly provision the demands of customers will be the final winner. Taiwan's electric vehicle industry started later than others' brands, and it seems that there is no really developing own brand for the electric vehicle business. Then what advantage does Taiwan have to rely on to surpass the leading brands that have already occupied the market? From this chart, we can see that although Taiwan did not have a complete electric vehicle company before, but it does have the strong supply chain of electric vehicle components. In Tesla's logistics system, Taiwanese manufacturers have contributed in all fields. But it's just a pity that most of these Taiwanese suppliers only play the roles of tier 2, tier 3, even tier 4. Taiwan is lack of important tier 1 suppliers, such as Bosch, Continental, Nippon Denso, which can play a piloting role in the electric vehicle industry. Perhaps in the future, Foxconn will be able to achieve such role. On the Technology Day in October 2020, Foxconn announced that it will enter the electric vehicle industry and establish the MIH platform. Foxconn intends to collaborate global partners who are aspiring to develop and contribute their efforts to the electric vehicle industry from MIH platform. The MIH, some people illustrate as Made in Hong Hai, and also as known as Mobility in Harmony. This open platform is not only derived from Foxconn's continuous innovation of technology, along with reliable quality, but also for all partners in the smart transportation ecosystem, whether it is an OEM, a supplier, an industry player, or new creation team, willing to contribute their innovative ideas on the MIH platform to make the dream come true. The MH Alliance was established less than a year and have already gathered more than 1,800 partners around the world. And from this chart, you can see some of them are the major league players who have been penetrating and developing in the smart transportation ecosystem for many years. Foxconn's development strategy for electric vehicles, not just from mastering the core technology of battery, motor, and electron controls. Of course, it will not deviate from the established roots of CASE. It is understood that Foxconn has also invest a lot of resource in solid-state battery, semiconductor, and software. The goal is to gain an important role in the booming electric vehicle market before the year of 2025. Foxconn have already set up their EV product plan for the next 5 years. You can see from this chart. Their goal is to take 10% of the global EV market share before the year of 2030. Okay, that is the end of my introduction of the EV trend today. If you need more information, please go to the website of the Foxconn. Thank you for your listening. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mr. Zhou, for the inspiring speech. Next, let's invite Mr. Kai Ro to share the comparison of two processing technology between electric and gas-drive vehicles.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kyle. I'm the CEO of Soko Machinery in Taiwan. Today's topic that I would like to cover is a fabrication perspective of tubes between electric versus fuel-driven vehicles. So we'll start a little bit with an introduction of our company. Our company was established in 1979 with over 500 global employees, and we are a company dedicated for solutions for tube processing. These include tube laser cutting, sheet metal lasers, tube bending, and tube cutting machines. We are headquartered in Taiwan with 5 global factories and 25 global branches, plus 40 plus global partners. So we do supply directly to many countries and many tier 1 applications, especially in the automotive industry. Here is a breakdown, or a general breakdown, of where tubes are being used in our everyday life. Automotive industry is one of the biggest parts, from car seats to exhaust systems to brake lines, as well as fitness equipment, such as treadmills, weightlifting equipment, and so forth. Furniture, from tables to chairs, as well as structural parts, aerospace, construction, and healthcare. These, just to name a few of the industries we cover with our solutions. A little bit about electric vehicles and the industry as a whole. Currently, it's estimated that its market worth at 986 billion US dollars. It's a major industry, and there's no doubt that this industry continues to grow. In the last few years, EV sales have seen a steep increase. Even though last year, with the global pandemic, growth has slowed down, the trend is undeniable. The growth is there. Among other news, United States has promoted that they want to increase by 2030 a 50% growth, 50% market share of new vehicles to be electric driven. So it continues to grow with a CAGR of 17.4% over the next 7 years. And there's a final forecast that by 2040, zero emissions vehicles will account for 70% of all new vehicle sales. Here are some more figures. EV sales rose from 65% from 2017 to 2018, reaching by 2019 2.3 million vehicles. And at this year, in 2021, it's estimated that it will surpass 3 million vehicles. The biggest consuming area of the world is still Europe and China. We, SOCO, as I said before, we are dedicated for tube solutions, tube fabrication solutions. So here's a breakdown of tubular components that exist in standard traditional fuel-driven cars compared to EVs. In electric vehicles, some parts no longer exist. The most clear one are the exhaust systems. Also, there will be no fuel systems, there's no clutch system, there's no cooling system for the engines, and there's a simplified brake line system. On the other hand, new tubular components are dedicated for EV cars. Because EV cars require batteries, there's a new developed cooling system. There are also tubes that support and guide all the additional electric wiring and sensors. Electric vehicles also tend to have a more modular and round figure, and therefore they have roof support frames for better lighting. Finally, they also have more compact air conditioning systems, we call HVAC systems. There's also a trend that started with traditional vehicles and continues with EVs, which is the lightweight trend. Due to gas emission regulations across the globe, automakers obviously are reducing weight and vehicle structure mass to improve battery life, driving range, and overall performance. A lighter vehicle requires less energy, and therefore, the higher driving efficiency and range can be achieved. So manufacturers are working on new designs with economic lightweight structures, combining high-strength steel, as well as aluminum components and other special alloys. Here is an example of some special parts in electric vehicles. Electric vehicles tend to use high tensile strength materials, used primarily for stabilizer tubes, impact beams, car seats, and steering system. They also use special tubular profiles, such as for the overall chassis, the roof, the dashboard, and so forth. But there are still a lot of tubes in electric vehicles. With these new materials and these new changes in fabrication, new challenges also arrive. So with the higher tensile materials, that means they are harder to machine, harder to cut. Materials, in order to achieve lighter weight, they also became thinner. So there's a challenge of preventing deformation and rupture. Tubes, which tend to be round before, they also now have non-traditional shapes, such as omega shapes and other shapes. So it requires versatile multitasking machines to process such materials. And finally, there's a focus on safety, as electric vehicles tend to accelerate and reach higher speeds, and as, of course, aesthetics. The cars need to look good. So it needs solutions to achieve higher production requirements. Among the solutions we propose and that we are currently offering to Tier 1, Tier 2 manufacturers and OEMs, for the first solution are tube laser cutting systems. In here, we can see a model called the SLT152. It's a fiber laser tube cutting machine that allows you to cut different types of profiles, shapes, and all types of different alloys and steels, regardless of tensile strength. Here is a quick video of the process. So that was a brief example of a tube laser cutting machine. With tube lasers, it is possible to combine multiple technologies and multiple processes into a single machine. So this system, a 3D laser, it's able to angle cut, slot, mark, notch, among other processes. Before, it was necessary to use presses, notching machines, saws, and multiple other processes to achieve the same final product. So with a tube laser, it is able to cut not only harder materials, but combine multiple processes. And the applications include, as noted before, impact beams, bumper beams, roof support frames, and dashboards. Another current solution is what we call the SLT robot cut. This is a laser system placed together with a robot, a robotic system that is able to cut formed shapes. Current tube systems cut straight tubes. With a robot cut, it is able to cut a part that has already been formed, pressed, hydroformed, and so forth. So this is a very useful application for special parts, especially for frames. Also, other tube laser cutting solutions include the SLT 102, a smaller machine which is widely used for cutting tubes used in car seating frames. So the machine, again, is able to cut different sizes, different shapes, all in fully automatic modes. The next process, the next vital process, is bending. Tube bending is used very much in different parts of the electric vehicle, car seats, dashboards, and so forth. Because of the requirement for lighter weights, there's less and less welding in tubes. So it is more common to produce a single tubular part all in one step. So it requires more sophisticated machines that are able to bend the parts continuously and without interference. So here's an example. So a lot of these processes were not achievable with traditional machinery. So now, with this all-in-one solution, it is able to achieve a lot of the parts designed for electric vehicles. So again, here are some more examples. Stabilizer bars, car seat frames, headrests are all typical tubular components using these all-electric CNC tube benders. Another common product, which is a trademark of a lot of the famous electric vehicle manufacturers, are the cabin frames, especially the rooftops. These frames do not use traditional round tubes. They use special profiles, which in itself are difficult to process, difficult to form, and more importantly, they are difficult to control, both in accuracy and thinning. So here's a small video of this process in action. So cabin frames and chassis benders is another typical solution we provide for the electric vehicle industry. And finally, we have special controls, which offer advanced production management. It is common now to talk about Industry 4.0. So we adhere to such standards, where you can monitor your production anytime from anywhere. We are able to provide solutions where you can see the part that you design, as well as simulate the production. It automatically compensates by connecting to measuring systems. We offer real-time production reports, internet remote monitoring for real-time production feedback. Also, the I2 controls have a vast built-in library for different cutting parameters, as we are using now very different types of materials. So with the built-in database, we are able to cut down on downtime, and it's much quicker and easier to produce new parts. We are also able to design and import CAD files in 3D formats. We're offering reverse engineering tools, file management for parts and tooling, and including tracking of tool life and wear out. Finally, user permissions for systems for flexible data access control, and machine preventive maintenance system with customized alarms and reminders. These are all parts of the new trend of productivity and production requirements on electric vehicle production lines. So, in short, with the new production lines, electric vehicles have the potential to reshape not only the transportation section, but manufacturing as a whole. It's undeniable that electric vehicles will be massively adopted around the world. And then with the increase of electric vehicle sales, suppliers from Taiwan and around the globe will face a new phase of transition for new types of fabrication and advanced production lines. Thank you for your time.
And thank you, Mr. Low, for the speech. After hearing the sharing of two speakers, let's move on the topic of trend of business opportunity of lightweight construction and parts in electric vehicles. And first, may I ask Mr. Zhou, does Foxtron Vehicle Technologies have a differentiated strategy for the solution provided by different regions in the world?
Okay, in Foxtron, we have a variety of customers all over the world, United States, China, Southeast, even Europe in the future. All these countries, they have their own individual regulation regarding the safety, environment protection need to be met. The market requirement and the user experience is also quite different from country to country, such as United States. The safety requirement is very high. So you need to design a strong body, but lightweight. And also your design need to adopt a lot of the active safety protection equipment. But in Southeast Asia, maybe the price is their first priority. So the design of the body will be quite different from the version of United States. Before, with all these different design, we need to have different requirement, different design. But right now, we use the concept of open platform, or you may say the common platform. Then we can meet the variety of requirements from different markets to save a lot of money and timing in design the EV vehicle.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Zhou, what do you think? International advantage of Taiwan's equipment manufacturing and processing manufacturing supply chains?
In the production of the EV vehicle, there are several issues we need to take care. The first one, Mr. Luo just mentioned, that is how to reduce the weight. because if you reduce the weight, then you can increase the cruise range. One of the solutions, of course, is adopting more tubes due to the tube is lightweight and high stiffness. Now, most of the body structure and the chassis component and also the C-frames use tubes instead of steel plate, just like Mr. Low just introduced. The second issue we need to take care is that the consistency of quality. And the third one is how to improve the automation. For these two issues, the accuracy and the efficiency is the key factor. So we need more precision machinery and smarter manufacturing, which of course we know that is the advantage of our Taiwan industrial. So I believe that in the future, in the global EV industry, Taiwan will play the key role.
Okay, thank you. And then may I ask Mr. Low, what do you think the opportunity for breakthrough due to the change of material on the bending pipe processing and to electric vehicles?
Okay, I think the breakthrough is not only in pipe or tube processing, but I think in material processing as a whole. So there are three parts I see. There are new materials. So these new materials, because of their mechanical properties, the traditional machines are not able to process it well. So one of the reasons is the accuracy. The other is forming power and repeatability. So it requires more and more solutions that are all electric, that are not subjective to temperature changes, and they're stable and flexible at the same time. So, and because the materials are harder, there's a tendency to switch to non-contact cutting, because by cutting or processing with traditional tools like blades, the life is short, which in turn causes processes to stop. So there's a switch towards cutting using, for example, laser. The second part are the designs. Car designs, because of performance, because of aesthetics, because of control panels, self-driving. These are all opportunities for us. They do not always use the traditional supply chains. So for Taiwan, we have the ability to adapt to these new demands, these new requirements. So we provide solutions, for example, such as roll bending, tight radius bending, which are all required for the new electric vehicle designs. And finally, there are new types of production lines. Like Mr. Zhou said, there's a need for greater automation. There's a need for intelligent manufacturing, which means you need to have real-time feedback for what's going on the production lines. And communication between not only inside the company, but your suppliers. So these type of breakthroughs are required, necessary, and provide an opportunity for Taiwan as a whole to this market.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Low, what's the selection strategy for the electric vehicle factories or spare part factories when choosing bending pipe applications?
The strategy is obviously customized by the product they want to manufacture. So we take into account, obviously, the shape, the material, and the tensile strength, among other things. So each product has its own tendencies, mechanical properties. It has a certain amount of tolerance, and it has a certain shape. Based on that, we can show and provide the right solution. Because of the lightweight requirements and the higher tensile strength materials, there are more and more complex shapes. The reason for these complex shapes is because there's a tendency to avoid welding. The less welding, the lighter the material can be. But the less welding there is, that means you have to finish the part in one go, in one set, one process. So you require more advanced solutions. So these are all, again, opportunities for us to go into automation, flexibility, and higher productivity with intelligent solutions.
Okay, thank you. And finally, thank you to experts and everyone for your participation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
谢谢。
Thank you, Dr. Zhan, Mr. Zuo, and Mr. Luo for the remarkable presentation and discussion on the international advantages of Taiwan's equipment and processing manufacturing supply chain, as well as the breakthrough in material processing in terms of lightweight construction. Meanwhile, they also highlighted the importance of smart manufacturing and automation in enhancing accuracy and efficiency. Through their in-depth exchanges, I believe everyone must gain inspiring ideas. For the next session, we are pleased to have Mr. Vincent Xiao, Chief Technology Director of PMC, to be our host. He and the two speakers will focus on the development and trend of electric vehicle lighting and injection molding, as well as Taiwan's advantages over international competitors in the electric vehicle market. Now, let's welcome Mr. Xiao to introduce more on the topic and the speakers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to join today's webinar. This is Vincent Xiao, Chief Technology Director of Precision Machinery Research and Development Center. I will host the next activities on this section. The topic of this section is From Aftermarket to Tier 1 Supplier, a successful business model in automotive lighting market. As people know, Taiwan makers have renowned in the supply chain of automotive peripheral parts around the world, such as car lamps, bumpers, tires. In early days, they just can cut into the aftermarket of automobile industry, but now they not only are the tier 1 suppliers, but also can provide innovative design and support smart production line for world-famous automakers. Taiwan makers are playing important roles in the supply chain of automobile industry step by step, even in the electric vehicle applications. The agenda is divided into two parts. One is the keynote speech, and one is the panel discussion. In the first part, it's our honor to invite the General Manager of TYC Broader Industry Corporation, Michael Chen, and CEO of Fujianxin Group, Alan Wang, as our keynote speakers to share their products and service capacities. They will also be the panelists in the next part. Before beginning, let me make a brief introduction to these two companies. TYC is a world-leading car lamp provider, and its customers have over 130 countries in the worldwide. TYC also makes all the manufacturing process visible and predictable for helping customers to develop their own products with small volume and large variety, as well as high precision performance. TYC is becoming an important partner in supply chain of electric vehicle manufacturers. Fujianxin Group is the largest maker of plastic injection molding machine in Taiwan, and also a world-leading molding machine provider for the global electric vehicle industry. Based in the lightweight megatrend of electric vehicle, Fujianxin has also developed a large multi-injection molding machine, being one of the only 3 companies in the world, and the only one in Asia. After above briefing, I believe you are looking forward to hearing the detailed presentations from our keynote speakers as quickly as possible. So let's welcome Michael Chen from TYC to introduce TYC as a global provider of smart production line for electric vehicle lighting. Welcome, Michael Chen, please.
TYC has devoted itself to the research and development of regulatory compliant automotive lighting devices with accurate light distribution to provide utmost road safety for drivers and pedestrians alike. TYC is one of the world's leading vehicle lighting manufacturers for automobiles, motorcycles, trucks, buses, and coaches with an impressive range of lighting devices and collision parts. This extensive product portfolio makes TYC a natural choice for one-stop shopping requirements. TYC is an important link for the global OEM and replacement aftermarket supply chain in the automotive lighting devices industry. We have always focused on innovation and quality. All TYC lighting devices are designed and developed in-house to fulfill the fast-evolving and highly diversified automotive market. We strive to improve and enhance our quality control and production efficiency year on year. For incoming quality inspections to packaging and transportations, every product has been through a strict quality control process. We provide market competitive and high-performance automotive and motorcycle lighting devices to satisfy customers' market needs around the world. TYC is ISO 26262, ISO 9001, IATF 16949, and Ford Q1 Quality Certification certified. TYC is a proud CAPA certified supplier since July 2005. TYC is dedicated to provide reliable, safe, and quality lighting experience and continuing to commit to the ultimate goal. TYC lights up the world.
Thanks to Michael Chen for sharing the video and their successful experience in the electric vehicle market. Next, let's welcome Alan Wang from Fujianxin Group to talk about the smart solution IMF 4.0 for electric vehicle production line. Welcome, Alan Wang, please.
Hi, I'm Alan Wang, currently acting as CEO in professional injection machinery manufacturing company named FCS. I'm glad to be invited to this forum to introduce FCS and how it supports the electric car and the auto parts suppliers of Taiwan. FCS was founded in 1974 with capital amount $48 million and annual turnover $111 million currently. There are 4 operation bases, 30 branch offices, and 21 agents around the world. Till now, FCS has sold machines for over 8,000 clients, and the accumulated volume of injection molding machine we sold, the overall length of Type bar being used for assembly FCS machine is equivalent to total height for 1,500 of Taipei 101. Besides injection molding machine, business unit, FCS Group has some diversified BU, such as PT preform and recycling, magnet wire, and the solar energy BU. This chart shows the general profile of 4 operation bases. The total area of those operation bases is over 300,000 square meters, and the total capacity is 3,700 sets per year. This is the top view of FCS headquarters in Tainan, Taiwan. This is the plant in Dongguan, China. This is the plant in Ningbo, China. And this is the plant located in Ahmedabad, India, since 2019, which provided quick delivery and after service for the customer locally. This is the new plant of Ningbo under construction in Hangzhou Bay. It's planned to operate in 2023, and the target annual output is 2,000 machines. Focus on large special injection molding machine over 500 tons. FCS won wide range of product line for injection molding machine. The clamping force range from 60 tons to 4,000 tons for various industry applications. The automobile industry mostly uses the clamping force within 500 to 3,200 tons, including 2-color, 2-platen, and all-electric machine. Automobile is going to be electrified. Therefore, energy saving, lightweighting, and environmental protection are the main concern and the trend. Car manufacturers began to replace steel with plastic, and replace the glass with plastic, and also use injection molding with carbon fiber or microforming technology. For electric car, FCS has the right machine to support the auto parts suppliers. For example, bumpers and the dashboards need large and 2-platen machines. The headlamp and the tail lamp need multi-color and BNC machines. Small and precise parts like center console buttons or audio parts, we suggest all-electric and all-electric 2-color machines. Fenders, when it's changed from steel to plastic, is suitable to add carbon fiber to enhance its strength. For the inner door trim, we provide mucil microforming molding in order to reduce the weight, noise, and pollution. Moreover, for replacing glass sunroof with plastic ones, FCS developed the large multi-component injection molding machine, which makes us the Asia's first and only manufacturer for PC glazing technology. FCS also provided total solution including injection molding machine, more technology, mass production, and material technology for satisfying one-stop service. This is FCS global network. We have set up global production bases and local services at the major automobile manufacturing countries, such as mainland China, United States, India, and Thailand. These are our key customers of household and support industries. And these are the 3C and the electronic key customers. These are part of the customers in auto parts industries. The sale turnover of FCS machine for auto parts is around 40% of all. Now, I would like to briefly introduce FCS success examples in auto parts. TYC Taiwan has 14 FCS machines for making lamps. This is one of the multi-component machines in TYC, with clamping force 1,420 tons, making tail lamps. The Breaker TYC in China has FCS machine total 50 sets. Marelli supports Fiat has 11 FCS machines for producing lamps. Vallejo has over 50 sets of FCS multi-component machines. Stanley has ordered customized large opposite double injection machine with electric-driven injection unit. Corridor uses FCS machine to make BMC reflector of hard lamps. Means Group had FCS large opposite two-color injection molding machine, HBR, which is 1,300 tons, making engine bases. Tata Motors is the biggest automobile manufacturing company in India, using our two-plate machine to produce bumpers of trunks and car interiors. These are all new machines BYD Group installed in China last year, which are two-color and two-plate machines. Now, let me introduce the smart manufacturing solutions for auto parts suppliers. There are a lot of variables to affect the performance of injection molding machine, such as the environment, material, and the machine operation. We developed the intelligent manufacturing system named INF 4.0 to control and reduce the production waste. The advantage of INF 4.0 is bespoke process, value-added data collection, beforehand machine diagnosis. Let me briefly explain the interface of this system. We can monitor the multiple machines and the real-time status of each machine. We can get the cycle time and the actual or target production amount. It gives the OEE status for this machine and the production status, which is on schedule or not. The managers will be able to know if the machine is performing well, should they start to arrange machines or staff to work overtime in order to catch up the production schedule. All data could be viewed on cell phone, remotely and instantly. No matter where you are, we will be able to get the real-time status of your machine and the production line. Thank you for listening and welcome to scan this QR code to know and contact FCS. Thank you.
Thanks to Alan Wang for sharing the splendid presentation and their solution in smart production to support electric vehicle industry. Thanks to above two keynote speakers again. After the keynote speech, let's move on to the panel discussion. Our topic is from aftermarket to tier 1 supplier, successful business model in automotive lighting market. Welcome Michael Chen and Alan Wang continue to join the discussion. Considering the convenience and generality, hereafter, we will adjust the language to bilanguage mode for those non-native English listeners. And thanks for your understanding.
For the first question, let's start with TYC's General Manager, Michael Chen. As a world-renowned automotive lighting provider and favored by major international manufacturers, What has TYC achieved in terms of customer demand? Also, what's the future trend of EV lighting? And what are TYC's strategies? Thank you. Yes, thank you, Vincent. First, allow me to briefly explain the trend of vehicles. It is known that vehicles are now developing toward intelligent safety and autonomous driving. In TYC, we are transforming the traditional lighting technologies of optical, mechanical, electrical, and thermal into advanced intelligent technologies for the application of smart lighting. Therefore, lighting devices with intelligent communication functions, together with microstructure precision optical processing, will be the key technology of the new generation of automotive lighting. TYC integrates vertically from product design, optical innovation, and new technology development to industrial technology to strive to surpass our competitors and to make us a pioneer in the industry. Facing the fierce market competition, TYC manages to maintain competitiveness. In terms of manufacturing, we not only improve production efficiency and product quality by adopting Industry 4.0, but also introduce automation and intelligence into production lines. In the meantime, TYC continues to expand the diversity of product ranges and cooperates with different auto parts and accessories manufacturers to integrate the marketing channels and to expand the market. With respect to the strategies for the EV market, we have started developing auto lighting devices for telematics since 2013. In 2017, we started internal programs for functional safety training and established related standards. In 2018, we were the first domestic automotive lighting manufacturer to receive the ISO 26262 certification. We meet the requirements of leading global automakers and have been reliable suppliers of functional safety auto lighting devices. In 2019, many of our engineers were certified as functional safety engineers. In 2020, we began mass production of auto lights based on functional safety, which was the first application in Taiwan. This year, we will obtain the ISO 26262 certification for actual applications. TYC has been developing these key technologies for many years, and we are confident in progressing in the EV market and cooperating with more vehicle manufacturers. Thank you, Michael, for the detailed explanation. As what Michael just mentioned, besides auto lighting devices, TYC also makes lots of efforts in developing new products for electric vehicles and has been cooperating with emerging EV manufacturers. Through standards establishment, collaborative development, and local production of short chains, TYC provides optimal service to its customers. I think we all agree that TYC is highly competitive in the field of automotive lighting. Thank you again, Michael, for the explanation. Next, I'd like to ask Alan Wang, CEO of Fuqiangxin Group, that what has contributed to Fuqiangxin's success in entering the supply chain of automotive lighting manufacturers. Of course, we all know it is not easy for domestic products to make their way to the global market when competing with foreign equipment and manufacturers. As such, could you share with us how Fuqiangxin won the favor and trust of domestic and foreign automotive lighting manufacturers, and what has contributed to their confidence in using your products. Thank you. Thank you, Vincent. I think for our company's products to succeed in being widely used in the automotive market, there are a few main factors, which I will explain from the two aspects of products and service. Regarding products, we have observed three main trends in the automotive lighting market. The first is large scale. Products are getting more and more complex in design and larger in size. So, you must be able to design large-scale machines and equipment. Fu Qiangxin owns excellent large-scale capabilities. Our largest machine is with the clamping force of 4,000 tons, which is not commonly produced by other companies. Our two-component injection molding machine can also reach 3.3 thousand tons. The second is multi-material injection molding technology. In the past, single injection machines were standard, but because there is more color and design in automotive lights now, technology of multi-injection for one-shot molding is very important. Fu Qiangxin can do one-shot injection from 2 to even 5 colors, and we have 19 configurations, including V-shaped and L-shaped. We can help customers modify machines from single to multi-injection for more application. We have also developed large dual-colored machine. Multi-component injection molding technology is key to automotive lighting, and Fu Qiangxin has been developing the technology for a long time. Only 3 companies can mass-produce large horizontal two-component machine over 1.9 thousand tons. 2 are European manufacturers, and 1 is Fu Qiangxin. We are very competitive and even take a lead position compared with other major European and American manufacturers. The third is technology integration. For injection molding, most emphasis was laid on the machine itself in the past, but now it is necessary to take all conditions into account and integrate molds, materials, and machines. Fu Qiangxin has a professional R&D team for molds and raw materials. We not only provide our customers with stable and high-performance machine, but also more complete service and resource. To sum up, 3 key chain to products are large-scale design, multi-component technology, and technology integration. Fu Qiangxin has been devoted to and also taken the lead in these 3 areas. Regarding customer relations, it is crucial to build global networks. Due to the pandemic, lots of services are not able to be provided to foreign customers. So, it's important to establish overseas offices based on your customers' company branches to provide in-time service. Fu Qiangxin has offices in 51 cities overseas, including more than 30 in China. We have agents in the United States and have established business units in Thailand, Indonesia, and India. We built a global network for direct operation in major auto manufacturing markets. Though it's hardly possible to go abroad under the pandemic, local service still remains accessible through relations built on service and trust. Many global companies have chosen us as their auto lighting partner. Besides Taiwan customers like the industry leader TYC, we are also providers of many well-known overseas manufacturers, such as Japan's Koito and Stanley, and India's biggest automaker, Tata Motors. Through this effort in the global vehicle manufacturing supply chain, Fu Qiangxin has achieved considerable results. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much, Alan, for the clear explanation. Fu Qiangxin has always been Taiwan's leading manufacturer in developing injection molding machines, and they are also representative provider of large-scale products. Through technology integration from materials and equipment to final production, Fu Qiangxin provides a complete solution to the automotive lighting industry and remains highly competitive in their products. Once again, thank you, Alan, for the detailed information. Now, let's go back to Michael. In the face of the intense global competition, what do you think are the advantages of Taiwan's electric vehicle lighting industry? In my opinions, Taiwan is actually very competitive in the global vehicle components and parts industry. In light of the future development of electric vehicles, could you give us some insights and share with us how TYC can work and collaborate with Taiwanese manufacturers to make a difference in the electric vehicle market in the future? Thank you. Thank you, Vincent, for the question. Before we talk about the trend of development and electric vehicle lighting, let's firstly take a look at the bigger picture of automobiles. Speaking of automotive revolution, when autonomous driving is able to reach the so-called level 4 or higher levels, we can imagine that steering wheel may no longer be needed, or it may be able to be folded up and hidden. At that point, the development of vehicle technology will be focused on energy endurance. So, from my perspective, the increase of endurance is a very important goal for electric vehicles in the future. Headlights will no longer be road illumination, but for more diverse purposes, include vehicle identification, pedestrian warning, or safety guidance. The optical and style design of vehicle lights will be lighter, thinner, longer, flatter, and groovy. Therefore, the development of vehicle lights will focus on the technologies of telematics, functional safety, and energy management. When it comes to Taiwanese manufacturers' advantages in the automotive lighting industry, take TYC for example. One of the fundamental reasons why TYC can compete with international competitors is that we own a great number of optical and institutional patents in automotive lighting. TYC currently holds up to 426 patents in Taiwan, the United States, Japan, and European Union countries, including Germany and France. From where I stand, under the trend of intelligent and advanced lighting, it's necessary to have a certain number of optical and mechanical patents as a foundation when facing competition. Otherwise, we will be restricted by patents owned by competitors and unable to develop the most competitive products. On the other hand, back to the topic of collaboration with industrial partners in Taiwan. The development of automotive lighting cannot be distinguished from the trend of vehicles. The future of vehicles will be comprised of artificial intelligence, 5G, Internet of Things, self-driving system, communication, electronics, and applications. Taiwan is actually adept at industrial integration and owns outstanding capabilities in integrating different technologies. TYC's goal is to find the best ways to collaborate with Taiwanese companies with the purpose of meeting the needs of electric vehicle lighting in the future. Yes, thank you so much, Michael, for the clear explanation. I think that under such a trend of electric vehicles, the development of auto lights, as mentioned by Michael, will move towards intelligent lights. Or we can say that auto lights must be integrated with more sensors or smart applications. There will surely be challenges, but in view of Taiwan's industry environment, I believe we can combine our strength in semiconductor and automotive electronics with components and parts supply chain to create our competitiveness. Once again, thanks to Michael for the explanation. Next, let's get back to Alan. As what you just mentioned about the development of electric vehicles and automobiles, there may be more and more plastic materials used in auto parts in the future. For example, bumpers or sunroofs. In your presentation, you also mentioned the concept of plastic instead of steel and glass. That is, using plastic materials to replace steel or using plastic materials to replace glass. Therefore, I think the technology of injection molding will also be very important in the future. For example, the application of composite materials, such as carbon fiber, to the manufacturing of car body has been an obvious trend because it has the advantage of lightweight. However, the length of fibers will actually affect the strength of the composite materials, which is a very critical issue to take into account. Therefore, when it is applied to injection molding, I suppose it should be quite challenging and technology requiring. So, Alan, in Fuqiangxin, do you already have mature technology regarding this? Or how do you design the functions for injection molding machines to meet the future market demand? Thank you. Thank you, Vincent. The overall trend of electric vehicles is go green and lightweight, and as to the technologies in plastics, we focus on how to achieve lightweight in two main directions. The first is to replace glass with plastics, and the second is to replace steel with plastics. As long as it's replaceable, in terms of glass, we can reduce about 50% of weight. Also, for parts like sunroofs that are installed in the car's upper part, reducing weight is very helpful to the car's overall center of gravity. We have developed the PC glassing, a glass-like molding technology, and applied it to quarter windows and sunroofs. The next is to replace steel with plastics, which has even better performance in weight reduction. To reinforce the plastics, the addition of these is required and a must. Our overall research focus has been laid on how to maintain fiber length in the injection molding process. For now, we can produce fibers with the length of over 10 millimeters. Through special design, especially the design of screws, we manage to maintain fiber length in the entire mixing process as long as possible. Besides, controlling plastic flowing speed to the molds and remaining low shear rates are also key to maintaining the fiber length. We have had provided such products to sport equipment and bicycle industries, where replacement of plastic over steel has become very common. As for the automotive industry, there will be several applications in the future. The first is fenders, which receive more attention in appearance, but also need a certain degree of strength. As such, we will use plastics together with carbon fiber as a replacement to achieve lightweight. Also, there is another lightweight technology about forming. The forming technology allows plastic materials to be filled with air inside, and it is not visible on the outside. The technology is generally used only in the footwear industry for lightweight shock absorption sports shoes. Chemical forming was widely used in the past, but now we have developed the so-called mu cell. It's a technology of physical forming that releases less CFCs and has become a mainstream technology. We are now applying the forming technology to interior panels and dashboard. The advantage is that we can achieve lightweight to a higher level, reducing at least 10 to 15% of weight. Moreover, it has the functions of noise reduction and temperature insulation, and it is easy to recycle. We provide this forming technology and solutions, and we can help our customers with the recycling. Simply put, there are basically three main directions for lightweight. The first is to replace glass with plastics, mainly in sunroofs and quarter windows. The second is to replace steel with plastics and carbon fiber, mainly used in exterior parts such as bumpers and fenders. The third is to further reduce weight through foaming, mainly in the interior parts, including dashboards and door trim panels. This process can achieve weight reduction, noise reduction, and temperature insulation. Fuqiangxin has been devoted to these technologies and also had a great many successful cases. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much, Alan, for the not only detailed and clear but also systematic introduction, allowing us to have a better picture for the future development and applications of lightweight technology in the automotive industry. It is indeed very detailed. Thank you. Finally, since today's webinar is a cross-domain conference and we're having experts from service provider TYC and equipment supplier Fuqiangxin from the automotive lighting industry with us, let's end today's panel discussion with a bit of ideas exchange. For the last question, I'd like to invite our two speakers to give some suggestions and directions to different industries. For example, Michael, when domestic equipment industry wants to join the field of automotive lighting, could you provide some suggestion or advice? And Alan, based on Fuqiangxin's future development direction, aside from automotive lighting, could you share with us what's your plan for other automotive applications, such as bumpers or other parts? Let's firstly invite Michael to share his opinions with us. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much, Vincent, for the question. To answer your question, from my perspective, the most important thing for me when I work with equipment supplier in the automotive lighting industry is that I always strive to find the best model and the optimal way of cooperation. Smart manufacturing is a key that plays a crucial role for auto manufacturing now, and it's also a goal that we have been striving to achieve. For instance, through establishing smart plants and adopting big data analysis for information collection, we can speed up the manufacturing process and achieve more efficient production. By analyzing the information gained from big data, we can enhance the activation rate of equipment more quickly and effectively, and then improve quality, yield, and the final output. We can further adjust the manufacturing parameters and optimize the setting of our equipment. In this way, we can improve the activation rate as well as raise production efficiency and the total amount of output. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much, Michael. As far as I know, domestic manufacturers are gradually moving towards the development of smart production line. And we also saw many case examples of Fuqiangxin today. So let's invite Alan to give us more detailed introduction. Thank you. Thank you, Vincent. I also like to share a little bit about the smart manufacturing of multi-component injection molding machines. As mentioned by Michael, smart manufacturing is indeed a major trend in the future. Let me introduce the development of Fuqiangxin's injection molding machines. We have smart predictive diagnosis for the machines. During the process, we mainly evaluate the overall conditions of all the machine and do some exclusion. For example, we use sensors to determine the wear and tear conditions. There will be temperature sensors to monitor the oil temperature and material temperature. We also sense the lubrication conditions. This process is mainly for machine maintenance and quality assurance. Currently, we are able to carry out in-mode pressure monitoring, which is mainly for the enhancement of production process. Through measuring the pressure inside the molds, we can tell whether the production model can produce products of good quality. We can inform the production line in advance about the current condition of the products, whether it be moving to a better yield or producing more defects. In this way, our customers can also adjust parameters or do other alterations in advance. So far, these are still carried out by manpower. In the future, we will develop the so-called expert system. We will use the measured in-mode pressure parameters to do modeling and through computational mechanisms to achieve automatic correction. No matter what kind of issues our customer encounter in the future, be in variation in raw material, temperature, or humidity, the machine will be able to automatically adjust and correct parameters to ensure the product's stability and predictability. These are the 3 developing stages of our injection molding technology. Thank you. Thank you very much, Alan, for the detailed explanation. And thanks to you both for the wonderful and informative content today. I believe everyone must have a fruitful time. Thank you, Michael and Alan, for giving us a wonderful presentation, sharing, and discussion. That brings us to the end of the panel discussion. Thank you both once again for joining the webinar with us today. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Xiao, Mr. Chen, and Mr. Wang for the splendid presentation and sharing. We learned about TYC and Fu Changxing's successful business model from aftermarkets to Tier 1 suppliers, as well as their devotion to excellent quality and service. Not only did they analyze the trends of electric vehicles and Taiwan's competitiveness in the global vehicle components and parts industry, but they also shed light on what it takes to be trustworthy partners for global auto manufacturers. I believe everyone find their presentation insightful. For the last session, it's of our great pleasure to have Mr. Chen Zhongping, Deputy Director of Machine Tool Industry Development Division of PMC, to be our host. He and the 2 speakers will focus on the development and application of gear reducer and machine centers, and Taiwan's advantages in the electric vehicle industry. Now, let's welcome Mr. Chen to introduce more about the topic and the speakers.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 3rd keynote session. It's glad to have Maurice Wu from HOTA and Jason You from CAFO to join us today. The topic of this session is gear reducer system with high precision and quiet operation. Speaking of low noise speed reducers, HOTA is the top in Taiwan. HOTA is a professional auto parts manufacturer and the supplier of reduction gearbox to the world's biggest EV manufacturer. Under the trend of energy saving and carbon reduction, the EV market is promising. HOTA is an OEM supplier to global EV manufacturers and Ford on gear reducers. HOTA is committed to artificial intelligence and smart production line. With the changing of the environment, where labor force becomes less and less, HOTA strives to move towards AI and smart manufacturing. CAFO Machinery, a subsidiary of HOTA Group, also plays a significant role in such development. With an over 50-year experience in technology and R&D capabilities, CAFO has not only gained a foothold in domestic and overseas markets, but also supported the development of smart manufacturing of driving shaft, transmission, and EV reduction gearboxes. Many countries will start banning the sale of petrol cars by 2025. By then, the so-called golden cross between EV and petrol cars is expected to appear. It is reported that there will be an explosive growth of EV from 2024 to 2027 around the world, and HOTA is likely to reach their revenue summit in the next few years. Today, we are pleased to have reduction gearbox leader, Hota Industrial, to share with us their latest technologies and development. Let's welcome Maurice Wu, the Sales Director of Hota Industrial.
Facing the fast-changing era, by refining its strengths in the industry, Hota is always creating brand new values between tradition and innovation. With great visions and company's strategies, Hota has transformed from traditional manual manufacturing to one of the promoters in the field of intelligent technology in the era of artificial intelligence. Hota has the finest R&D team. Our customers from all over the globe rely on our engineering capability and co-develop products with Hota as their trusted partner. From monthly-based to minutes and seconds-based production processes, the key element of which we call magic process is the introduction of one-piece flow automation. At the beginning of the manufacturing process, Hota introduces the technology of virtual ID and QR code to establish product traceability and strictly review each process. We believe that the combination of manpower and machine plays an important part in our quality control. The simultaneous utilization of top-grade equipment increases the strength and wear resistance of our components. Hota is committed to developing its own gear machines and also investing in world-class advanced gear grinding machines as the highest precision finishing process. Hota is the first company in Taiwan introducing German hard broaching machine in order to enhance company's key technology and to strengthen core competencies. Compared to traditional production lines, utilizing automation and intelligent management can save up to 70% of the manpower. Moreover, through AI integration, it helps us to analyze and improve production lines more effectively. In the high-speed production flow, our products pass the repeatedly high standard tests and strict in-process inspections. The yield rate reaches as high as 100% for finished products. This result motivates us to engage even more actively in developing and expanding the scale of our automatic production lines. Innovation, quality, and efficiency have always been Hota's core principles. We are proud of awards and certifications from domestic and global customers and professional institutions. Reaching out to our global partners and customers from Taiwan, we are committed to providing our services with no geographical boundaries and time differences. Hota designs and develops user-friendly products with our own technologies, including gear machines, electric wheelchairs, electric scooters, electric ATVs, powertrain components and assemblies for EVs, ICE cars, motorcycles, trucks, agricultural equipment, and industrial machinery. With its excellent capabilities, Hota manages its business across multiple dimensions and industries. In the meanwhile, Hota has also been actively participating in social welfare as part of our corporate social responsibility. Hota is committed to promoting the use of renewable energy as a socially responsible corporation. We aim to build a green and intelligent life for a better future.
Hello everyone, my name is Maurice Wu. I'm the sales director of Hota Industrial. It's very glad to have so many participants from auto manufacturers and Tier 1 suppliers to join the webinar today. First, I want to thank Bureau of Foreign Trade of MOEA for inviting me and providing this opportunity to promote Taiwan's smart machinery. Today, I will give you a brief introduction of my company. Hota Group currently has 6 subsidiaries, and today we will mainly focus on Hota Gear. Hota Gear now has 6 production bases in Taiwan and 2 in China, which are in Wuxi and Huai'an. The group revenue was around $4.5 billion in 2020. As we all know, the pandemic brought economic impact globally last year. Hota Gear consists of 3 divisions. The transmission division is the biggest scale and is the main source of revenue. The other 2 are the medical equipment division and the machinery division. The transmission division is responsible for manufacturing machine products from chassis parts to powertrain components and assemblies. For medical equipment, besides ATVs, we have also been going through transformation and started to manufacture hospital beds, electric wheelchairs, and scooters. The 3rd division is the machinery division. Having nearly 60 years of experience in machine, we have developed our own gear machines, include gear hobby machines, shaving machines, and chamfery machines. The company was founded in 1966 and is now in its 56th year. We started out as a motorcycle parts manufacturer, and in 1995, we transformed into an automotive manufacturer. It was also in 1995 when we entered the US OEM market. The company went public in 2000 and in 2012. We started to exploit the electric vehicle market in the US. Our entry into the electric vehicle market was several years ahead of other domestic companies in the industry. Hota has built a global network worldwide. Our headquarters is in Taiwan. We have sales and logistic offices on the East Coast and West Coast of the US. In China, we have manufacturing plants in Wuxi and Huai'an, and then in Japan, we also have sales office in Osaka. What you see are our production bases in Taiwan. The Daya plant on the left is where the company headquarters located. The Dali plant on the right is where we started the company from scratch. Then we have the rather new established factory in Jiayi, Plant 1 and 2. Both plants are mainly responsible for manufacturing components and parts of electric vehicles and hybrids. Production lines here carry out one-piece flow automated manufacturing and are under intelligent management. At present, because our business in electric vehicles has been growing fast, Jiayi Plant 1 and 2 has already reached full production capacity, which gave rise to the planning of Plant 3. The hardware construction of Plant 3 was completed in May, and we are now in the process of moving in and setting up the production lines. Let's take a look at the machine automation in our company. On the left, you can see the automated production line. No manpower is needed from the beginning of manufacturing process to finished products. We introduced the technology of QR code to enhance the traceability. We can track the status of each machine at certain minute and second to strictly review each process. We also introduced the AOI system to monitor all our processing equipment. In addition to grippers, for double column machining center, we also set up multi-axis robotic arms. On the right are several production lines we built for electric vehicles. We collaborated with KUKA to set up all the automated production lines. Currently, KUKA's headquarters in Asia takes Taiwan's plant as a demonstration factory. So, after assisting Hota in setting up the production line, they also cooperated with us in filming some promotional videos for automation. Next, I would like to cover more about the transmission division. I did briefly mention our machining products of chassis parts, and now let me break down the main products into more detailed categories. Basically, Hota manufactures transmission products from engine, transmission, transfer case, transmission shaft, front and rear shaft to cantilever. Hota owns excellent capabilities in machining, including electric vehicle transmission and motor shaft that are now on the rise. For the time being, North America is our biggest market. Among all our products, about 85% are manufactured for automobiles and trucks. And among those 85%, 40% are for electric vehicles and hybrids. Here are some of our main customers. They are global automakers, such as supercar manufacturer McLaren, General Motors, and Volvo. Tier 1 suppliers include LG, BorgWarner, ZF, GKN, and Eaton. In agriculture machinery, there are John Deere and AGCO, which are the world's top 1 and top 3 manufacturers in the industry. For motorcycles, they are Triumph, Ducati, Bombardier, BMW, and Polaris, the global market leader of ATVs. Also, there are a few hydraulic and traction transmission manufacturers, but I won't go into too many details here. Here are some of the certifications we have received. In addition to IATF 16949, which is generally required for vehicle manufacturers to obtain, we have been actively applying for verifications regarding renewable energy since 10 years ago, including greenhouse gas emissions, carbon footprint, and energy management system. Hota owns outstanding inspection capabilities. We have testers able to carry out a wide range of inspections, including hotness, chemical materials, and microstructure. Our products are more of high precision, so the testers need to cover geometry and different dimensions and size. Besides contact inspection, we are also developing AOI, moving towards optical inspection. Then it comes to what we do best. Since Hota is a gear manufacturer, we have all kinds of gear measuring machines, including gear testers and mesh testers by Germany, America, and Japan. We are also capable of conducting non-destructive tests. There are various kinds, all of which have to meet the strict requirements of our customers. One of them is cleanliness, which is especially and strictly required for electric vehicles. And Hota has actually started the introduction and practices of cleanliness testers since 10 years ago. In terms of our manufacturing capabilities, Hota can do all kinds of before and after heat treatments. We are equipped with the most comprehensive capabilities in soft machining, from gear hobbing, gear shaping, gear shaving, and broaching, to turning, milling, drilling, gun drilling, and spline rolling. Then comes to after heat treatments, which is hot finishing and requires higher precision. We are capable of gear grinding, hot broaching, hot hobbing, gear hardening, OD and ID surface grinding, and we can also conduct shot peening and straightening. The requirements for electric vehicles are become more and more strict in recent years. In terms of gear grinding, our company started the research and development more than 20 years ago, and the technologies has already been very mature, which is why our global customers put their trust in us. One of our clients is a world-leading American automaker. They came to us and we helped them achieve quality noise reduction. We keep focusing on enhancing our capabilities, including developing vertical integrated forging plants and heat treatment plants for laser welding, electron beam welding, and so on. We continue to update and refine our manufacturing capabilities and introduce more advanced technologies so that we can maintain our competitiveness in the increasingly challenging electric vehicle market, as well as provide the best solutions to our customers. That's my presentation today. Thank you for listening. If you have interest in Hota's products or any questions, please feel free to contact me. My contact info is as below. My name is Maurice Wu. Here are my email and our company website. please feel free to contact me and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much. Machine tools is a crucial processing equipment for automobiles and motorcycles. Today, we are pleased to have Jason Yu, the Assistant Vice President of CAFO, to share with us their high-performance machining centers that support the key components of electric vehicles. Let's welcome Jason Yu. First, I want to thank Bureau of Foreign Trade of MOEA for inviting CAFO to participate in this cross-domain webinar. My name is Jason Yu. I'm the Assistant Vice President of Sales Department of CAFO. Today, I will introduce CAFO, talk about its background and development. CAFO was founded in 1968 and now is in its 53rd year. It's located in the central Taiwan Science Park and has over 300 employees. Our annual sales reached 3 billion NT dollars, and we sell 700 to 800 machines per year. This is our annual turnover in the past 5 years, after the second half of 2018. Because of the US-China trade war, our business in 2019 was influenced and declined a lot. In 2020, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the sales did not grow much either. Looking ahead to 2021, we hope the pandemic could end soon and we can embrace better business prospects. This is an overview for our human resource. CAFO lays great emphasis on R&D. There are over 50 people in our R&D department, which is not commonly seen in the machinery industry. Many companies in the industry don't have R&D team, nor do they have R&D staff. Most of them outsource their R&D, so they cannot keep the core process in-house. CAFO is willing to spend this cost, and we greatly value our R&D staff. Next, I would like to introduce to you to our chairman, David Shen. Our group has 3 listed companies, which are CAFO Machinery, Hota Industrial, and Huafeng Rubber. Actually, before Mr. Shen joined CAFO as chairman, CAFO was facing a serious business crisis. In early days, CAFO's product ranges lacked diversity and the marketing distribution was limited. So, the entire company was in red every year from 2005 to 2007. But then we met Mr. Shen. He believes that machine tools are one of the most important production tools and they are closely related to the manufacturing of his company's products. Moreover, there are a wide range of applications to the downstream sectors, such as traditional machinery, automobile, power equipment, railroads, ships, aerospace, national defense, petroleum, chemical engineering, machinery, and medical industry, all of which require machining tools to complete the manufacturing process. After Mr. Shen joined CAFO's big family, he gave the company a very clear orientation, which is quality first, service first, innovation, and R&D, so that everyone has a goal of moving forward to learn and progress. Because of this, CAFO was able to slowly turn the corner. As I mentioned earlier, we have 2 other listed companies in the group. Hota Industrial mainly manufactures high-precision auto components. They also produce gear hobby machines and shaving machines, as well as medical equipment. Huafeng Rubber, on the other hand, mainly produces automobile and motorcycle tires. Apart from our office in Taipei, Taiwan, CAFO also has a factory in Huai'an, China, where there is also a production and processing center. As mentioned, CAFO's marketing distribution used to be limited, But after the efforts we put into our business in the past 10 years, we have made our way to the global market. Our customers are now mainly in Asia, which accounts for 60%, including Japan, Korea, China, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and India. 10% are in the Middle East, mainly in Turkey. We have clients in both Eastern and Western Europe. Almost all European countries use CAFO's equipment. Our Americas market is mainly located in the US and Canada. Only 1% is in Africa, which is the market CAFO needs to work hard to expand. In terms of certificate, we have ISO 9100 and ISO 14001. These are the certificates CAFO received from Taiwan Excellent Award in recent years. Our products consist of 5 categories: vertical machining centers, double column machining centers, horizontal machining centers, 5-axis machining centers, and gantry-type machining centers. For vertical machining centers, there are 3 sub-series: the 3-axis linear guideway design, the 3-axis hard rail design, and the design of XY-axis linear guideway with Z-axis hard track. Most of our EV customers choose the 3-axis linear guideway series because their products are of smaller size and require high precision. Some customers require high precision but also need heavy cutting. Then they will choose the series of XY-axis linear guideway with Z-axis hard track. For double column machining centers, there are mainly 3 series: the standard double column machining centers, the gantry-type 5-axis machining centers that go with automatic additional head, and moving cross-rail 5-phase machining centers. For horizontal machining centers, different series are named based on their size. CAFO currently has 4 types of horizontal machining centers: the 500, the 630, the 811, and the 1 meter. For the 5-axis machining centers, CAFO currently has the turntable diameters of 400 and 600. For the gantry-type 5-axis machining centers, the range can vary from 2 to even 10 meters or longer. There is no standard or unified size regulation. Products and machines of different industries can be large or small. Therefore, CAFO provides customers with customization service according to different needs. CAFO has put significant investment in inspection equipment. Currently, we are able to carry out 3D probing, bore bar inspection, vibration test, and geometric test, all of which are to ensure the parts we buy and the finished machines we make are with optimal quality. In the machine, the most important precision unit, if the controller not counted, is the spindle. CAFO has started the R&D of spindles since early days, and we can now produce our own ones. Only 10% of Taiwan's machinery manufacturers have such capabilities. The other 19% mostly buy spindles from others. In terms of machining centers, not only does CAFO have its own machining centers, but to meet the requirements of products, we have also imported devices from Japan. CAFO develops our own technologies. We can cooperate with other manufacturers for external processing, but at the meantime, keeping the core technology in-house. As mentioned earlier, Service first is one of the 3 core principles of our company. We hope to keep our service available to our customers all over the world 24 hours a day without waiting and stopping. We aim to provide in-time service and will reply any questions anytime. That concludes my presentation today. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Maurice and Jason, for the wonderful presentation. Let's move on to the panel discussion. First, I'd like to ask Maurice, when facing competitors in the global EV market, what's HOTA's advantages? Thank you. Thank you for the question. From where I stand, HOTA has 3 main strengths: innovation, standardization, and digital transformation. Innovation is the reinvention of our processing technology during the era of petrol and diesel cars. For example, emphasis was laid on gear technology. Surface roughness was required to be as small as possible. The same for tolerance and variation. However, electric vehicles need more advanced technology and precision. Take our customer in the EV market for example. Suppose one gear has 40 or 80 teeth. Each tooth has a left and right tooth surface. Our customers would require that every tooth surface be subdivided into 9 equal parts for inspection of any distortion variation, crown drift, or ripples. This is what we have never encountered in past few decades when manufacturing petrol cars, and it requires continuous refinement and innovation in processing technology to meet the requirements of our customers. In terms of standardization, our company has been expanding the production lines, all of which can carry out automated manufacturing. Our goal is to standardize these innovative technologies and introduce them into mass production. After that, for the gears to be with stable quality and cost competitive, we need to develop automated and smart production lines. Therefore, we believe standardization is of great importance, and only through this, we can achieve the lowest ppm and highest FPY in our automated production lines. Then comes to digital transformation. HOTA's digital transformation focuses on information sharing, and our main purpose is to enable our customers to have better control of the situation and to enhance their satisfaction. HOTA has been in the process of digital transformation to move towards Industry 4.0. Every year, HOTA produces 20 to 30 million gears, and we aim to analyze all the machining data through big data analysis and then share them on the cloud. The data will not only be accessible to in-house departments, but also provided to our equipment manufacturers and customers. During the era of petrol cars, for example, if an auto manufacturer wanted to investigate the shaking of vehicle's engine or transmission, it would usually go from Tier 1 to even Tier 4 supplier. The data might be recorded months or even years ago, and just to complete these investigations might take weeks or even months. Nowadays, EV manufacturers require speed and efficiency. They expect us to provide all the SPC data within 2 to 3 days. Because we already have an automation setup, including smart machining data analysis and a manufacturing execution system, which is to digitize all the machining data and share them on the cloud. We also share this cloud data with our customers and auto manufacturers so that they can directly check the data for a specific year or a certain period of time. In this way, they can carry out in-time data analysis anytime without time difference. This actually echoes with our experience with global automakers and EV manufacturers. About 3 years ago, BMW commissioned the general manager of Microsoft Taiwan to visit our company and invited us to join their OMP, which refers to Open Manufacturing Platform. There's also other well-known cases, including Mercedes-Benz. It is also working with SAS to develop a similar platform. Our digital transformation in information sharing aims to provide data to our customers so they can carry out troubleshooting and shorten the improvement time on the application. On the other hand, we share the machining data with our equipment manufacturers so they can further analyze them and give us feedback regarding how to improve the processing technology. If necessary, we will purchase more advanced equipment and invest in new technologies. This digital sharing could lead to innovation, and the innovation will then be standardized, which is like a cycle of plan, do, study, act. We have already started this way earlier than others, and I think this is the strength of our company. Thank you. Thank you, Maurice. Opportunities are always reserved for those who are prepared. Next question is still for Maurice. Hota has been a reliable provider of reducers and transmissions to major global auto manufacturers. According to customer demand, what do you think is the future trend of electric vehicles, and what are Hota's strategies? Thank you. Okay, let me start with the trend of electric vehicles. Hota is actually very fortunate. We have been producing powertrain products for 60 years, but it is only about 20 years since we started the R&D of precision gears and gear machines. When the famous American EV manufacturer came to Taiwan to look for professional gear processing factory, Hota was recommended by many, which I attributed to our efforts in the past 60 years. Hota started devoting ourselves to the EV market around 10 years ago in 2012, when there were few manufacturers participating in the industry. Today, EVs have been growing gradually. Last year, for example, about 2.5 million EVs were manufactured, of which Hota provided 25% of the speed reducers and gears. This is owing to our investment and devotion for the past 10 years, and we are now equipped with the know-how of high-speed and low-noise reduction gearboxes for electric vehicles. The EV market is on the rise. There are new competitors joining the industry, but most of them are still in the beginning process. As more and more companies start to own the technologies, we expect ourselves to be the best of all. Electric vehicles is already an obvious trend. It's estimated that by 2023, there will be 30 million EVs manufactured each year. Still, for the EVs to be further popularized, affordable price is the premise. There are three most important parts in an electric vehicle, which are battery, electric motor, and the ECU, all of which alone account for nearly 40% of the cost of an EV. Therefore, we can say that for EV price to be more affordable, the cost reduction of these three parts is crucial. It's an inevitable trend, and it's already happening. So, we expect that by around 2023, EVs will be widely promoted, and other manufacturers will also have optimized their technology. By then, when everyone owns excellent capabilities, our products will need to be cost competitive. This is the current trend of electric vehicles. A great number of well-known electronics companies also plan to join the EV market in 2023 or 2024, including leading mobile phone manufacturers, and their entry will make the market competition even more fierce. These are the trend of electric vehicles according to my observations. In terms of company strategies, In the past, the core technology of traditional petrol and diesel cars lied in the engine. All automotive manufacturers kept their own engine technology and could even do machining and assembly themselves. Meanwhile, they outsourced their components and parts, such as transmission, transfer case, shaft, or chassis. Now, because of the emergence of electric vehicles, the supply chains of many automotive manufacturers has been quite chaotic. The reason for such chaos is that, on the one hand, these automakers don't own the core technology for EV motors, but on the other hand, they also want to introduce the key technologies of battery, electric motor, and the ECU. Meanwhile, Tier 1 suppliers such as transmission and shaft manufacturers also aim for horizontal merger. In the past, as engine manufacturing is century-old technology, automakers owned absolute advantage. But now we are all on the same starting point in the EV market, and everyone wants to dominate the technology. Hota is actually very fortunate. Many companies that used to be our client's client now all came straight to us for cooperation. In the past few years, we have received more business inquiries and orders than before. For the time being, Hota positions itself as a professional helper and teammate that can provide our customers with more added value. In terms of EV transmission, compared to traditional automatic transmission or manual transmission, its mechanical structure is actually way less complex. Hota is equipped with the capabilities of expanding business to the market, but we don't want to steal our customers' clients or muscle for the market. Therefore, Hota still mainly focuses on precision machining and production line layout, as well as provides more cost-competitive and high-quality gear products. This is Hota's current strategy and orientation in the market. Thank you. Thank you, Maurice, for providing a very detailed analysis of EV trends and market strategies. The EV industry is growing fast, and we all need to speed up to seize the opportunity. Machine tools plays a crucial part in electric vehicles and automobiles. Their application in the automotive industry used to account for up to 40 to 50% of the overall industry. Therefore, I would like to ask Jason. CAFO has had remarkable business achievement in the Southeast Asian EV market. When cooperating with EV manufacturers on different application demand, how does CAFO meet the customer's needs? And what is its service flow? Thank you. Thank you for the question. From where I stand, CAFO is also fortunate to have Hota as our strong partner. In 2008, CAFO followed in Hota's footsteps and entered the EV market from the traditional automotive market. When the collaboration first began, Hota did not lower the standard and requirements on us because we were in the same group. Instead, they required us to provide equipment with a CPK of at least 1.33. Of course, at the beginning, CAFO was not able to achieve this requirement, but as our R&D team and technical staff strived together to improve the techniques and enhance our products, we managed to reach a CPK of 1.33 that can meet the customer demand. When we reached CPK 1.33, Hota then required that we provide equipment with a CMK of 1.33. For better stability and quality of our machines, CAFO strive to meet these strict standards. As Hota and its downstream supply chain keep pushing CAFO to better levels, we are able to sell nearly 300 machines to Taiwan's EV manufacturers in the past 10 years. Owing to such experience, we also applied the same business model and succeed in entering nearby markets, including China and Southeast Asian countries. where many local companies are already developing electric motorcycles and electric vehicles. Through excellent service and products, we get ahead of the game and successfully expand our customer base. In order to meet the needs of our customers in the EV market, the company is actually selling at the price beneficial to our customers. Through financed materials and favorable costs in manufacturing, we hope to provide our customers with the best quality. Thank you. Thank you, Jason. For CAFO to become an industrial leader, having good customers who are willing to share information and having more strict requirements are both important elements. The next question is still for Jason. For future high-end electric vehicle market, does CAFO have any preparation or strategies? Also, how will CAFO maintain its business sustainability as moving with the global trend? The way I see it, it is a definite trend for electric vehicles to replace traditional automobiles. In the past, our customers were mostly based in traditional automotive industry. When CAFO underwent business transformation, it was a very difficult and challenging time for both we and our customers. Still, if we don't attempt to advance and progress, we will eventually lose our competitiveness and be surpassed by others. Therefore, we followed HOTA Group and step by step joined the EV market. In the past few years, we have been cooperating with large domestic parts manufacturers such as aluminum forging ring manufacturers and battery case manufacturers. We developed customized machines to meet their needs, upgraded the hardware and software of the machines, and helped them plan fully automated production lines to reduce labor costs and improve efficiency. What we do is we endeavor to introduce and promote smart technologies and intelligent manufacturing to the industry. Thank you. HOTA and CAFO both use their strength in cooperation, through which creates more ideas exchange and enables the two companies to move towards higher level. Finally, let's come back to Maurice. EVs are energy-saving and eco-friendly. They emit fewer greenhouse gases and air pollutants and create a more comfortable living environment. In view of the global trend of energy saving and carbon reduction, many EV manufacturers will have corresponding requirements. Does HOTA have any planning or strategies? Thank you. As I mentioned in my presentation, since HOTA entered the EV market about 10 years ago, we have been actively promoting the use of renewable energy and applying for various green verifications, including greenhouse gas emissions, carbon footprint reduction, and energy management system. Actually, when we first cooperated with US EV manufacturers, there was no clear definition and regulations in terms of renewable energy in manufacturing. They only required us to provide products that are energy saving. It was only in the last 2 years when more and more traditional automotive manufacturers started to join the EV market that the definition became clear and companies began to introduce the so-called sustainable operation. To be more specific, customers will set a certain percentage of green energy needed to be used, and we need to reach that number. European manufacturers are stricter on these requirements, while the US manufacturers have only begun to pay attention to this part in recent years. When we met with Volvo about 4 months ago, we were surprised by their standards for energy saving and carbon reduction. They require that HOTA achieve 100% renewable energy by 2025, which is very difficult to attain. Currently, HOTA has been incorporating the concept of green factory and all of our plants are installed with solar panels on top. For now, the renewable power generated by the solar panels on our 4 plants in Taiwan accounts for about 35% of our power consumption. So, frankly speaking, it's almost an impossible mission in terms of reaching Volvo's demand of 100% green energy. Why? Because our company is mainly engaged in heavy metal cutting and heat treatment, such as high-frequency welding and carburization, which consumes a great amount of electricity. If we rely 100% on solar energy, there is no way we can have enough electricity to use, unless we purchase green electricity. But if we purchase additional green electricity, the cost will go up. But, of course, we are still aiming for that goal of 100% green energy. Hota is currently building its 5th plant in Taiwan, which is the Jiayi Plant 3, and the solar panels are being installed at the same time. The plant is now under construction, and for new plants in the future, we will also incorporate green factory planning for more sustainable development. We will work towards 100% green energy. Though it is indeed very difficult, we will strive to achieve this goal and create a greener and better future. Thank you, Maurice. Facing the trend and the needs of international market and high-end customers, domestic companies must adopt strategies and work towards the global trend of carbon reduction. Thank you, Jason and Maurice. It was a pleasure to have you as our speakers, and thank everyone for your participation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chen, Mr. Wu, and Mr. You for the detailed and comprehensive discussion and presentation. Under the trend of Industry 4.0, through innovation and digital transformation, Hota and CAFO both strive to achieve smart manufacturing while providing the complete solutions to their customers. Meanwhile, to create a greener and better future, Hota Group has also been devoted in developing green energy and reducing carbon footprints. Ladies and gentlemen, after hearing so many insightful speeches and in-depth discussions from our speakers and moderators, this webinar has come to an end. Today, we had 6 Taiwanese leading manufacturers to share their latest development in parts and machinery, as well as the trends and business opportunities in the EV market. In response to the global trend of smart manufacturing, these world-leading manufacturers not only strive to meet the customers' needs, but also enhance Taiwan's EV industry to be more prosperous. EV industry is not only a beacon of hope in the post-pandemic era, but also a broad avenue to a better future. And Taiwan indeed plays a significant role in the global EV supply chain. Once again, we thank all the speakers for their remarkable speeches and thank everyone for your participation. We hope you find today's webinar informative and fruitful. And that brings us to the end of today's webinar. We hope you the best and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you. Goodbye.